In order to avoid the old adage of garbage in, garbage out, it is important to understand the inputs of any spreadsheet. Spreadsheet Professional can help do this by the map reports help identify where the inputs are. The maps give you an overview of the entire spreadsheet and point out where the labels and text are, where the numbers, numerics are, the input cells, and where the formulas are. So in this spreadsheet you'd wonder why there's a number sitting in the middle of a calculation sheet. It is also important to realize that you can now identify where all the inputs are and check that they are the input numbers you expect to see. The calculations test report in Spreadsheet Professional performs a number of tests to identify risky cells. One of the tests is to look for unused input values. So what it'll do is go to every input value in your spreadsheet and check that it is being used in your spreadsheet. The risk exists that there's an input value that you believe is being used but is not being used. The input report shows your spreadsheet with the calculations grayed out and the input cells identified and enumerated here so that you can see what the inputs are. In a similar report, the exact same thing is done with the graying out of the formulas, but now the input cells are blank. So you can now hand this out and request what input should be in your spreadsheet. The formula tracer allows me to expand on and drill down into a calculation to understand what it is doing. If I click on that cell and activate the formula tracer, I can see in a bubble diagram what the calculation is doing and drill down into it right down to the inputs so I can understand what inputs affect my spreadsheet. The Spreadsheet Painter allows me to color my cells depending on what the contents is. In this spreadsheet, it's not clear what cells are calculations and what cells are inputs, short of going through every single cell. However, I can go to the Spreadsheet Painter, paint it, and now I can see that the cells in yellow are inputs, the cells in blue are calculations, and the cells in dark blue are the outputs. This makes it easier to understand where the inputs are of a spreadsheet, which inevitably are the drivers.